This is Isla, owned by Jess and Dan Rasmussen. Sit. In Pierce, South Dakota. Ready? Hey, okay. So I was going to show you Jess's when she's off. Okay. Off the check cord. Or she's smelling something there. Okay, let's go. Let's go. And on this video here, I'm just going to kind of give you kind of a format when you take her out with just the e-collar on her like this to let her run. Kind of think of it like having a long invisible check cord on her. So instead of physically getting her back, you're going to do it through the electronics. So she's running around. My goal is to keep her within about a 25-30 yard big circle around me. Now the one thing with Isla, she likes to get out. She's not one that just kind of hangs right around me, which is good to teach her this. And you can see she's sniffing around, and everything's kind of wet this morning. It rained. But there's two ways to get her to head back. One is verbally say come, or the other one is the e-collar has a tone feature, a little beeping sound, which I'm teaching her. When she hears that, I want her to head back, almost like I said come to her. So as she's going around here, I'll just kind of let her do her thing. And like I said, if I need to call her, I'm first going to use with my voice just to show you. If she doesn't come back, what do I do? And she hears me talking, so she's not quite sure why I'm talking. Because typically I wouldn't be saying anything unless I needed her back. So I'm going to call her. Come. Good girl. And she headed back. Good girl. So I'm actually going to give her a little treat there. Okay. Just to kind of reward the response. Doesn't mean you got to give her a treat every time, but in the beginning when I do this, with most dogs, I really try and connect. You head back, there's something there. And like you see, she's right back out there. And if she's sticking around this 25 yard circle around me, I don't care if it's behind me, but if I'm walking and she's behind me more than 25 yards, I'm going to call her up to stick with me. So I want her around me in this big circle. And the key is if she doesn't respond, what do you do? So if I say come and she doesn't respond, or I use the tone first and she doesn't respond, you back both of those up with the e-collar feeling and the come command. Dog's attention span is only 2 seconds, so every 2 seconds you need to change your correction level. And I'm using continuous, which means I'm holding the button down as I'm saying the come command for 2 seconds. In other words, I'd be going come, come, come. While I'm holding it down, you see she heard me there a little bit. Okay. Because it's like I'm taking that invisible check cord and going come, come, come. So out here I know she'll want to get a little farther away. So I'm actually going to try some tone stuff out here and see what she does. Okay, so she's about the edge of that circle. So I'm going to tone her right there. Good girl, good girl. No correction, but I will give her a little piece of the treat there. Okay, good girl. For heading back, because that's my goal. I gave her the sound, she came back. I did not have to back it up or correct it. But you can see right away, I want to get right back out there. So she's at that limit. I'm going to tone her again. Well, she's kind of making a sideways, so now I'm going to tone her. Okay, now she's not coming back, so I'm going to go to the e-collar. Come, come, come. I'm going to give her a little more correction. Come, come. I don't know if you can see her turn her head there a little bit. That a girl. Because I want this. I become a good place to go. She's excited to be here. Not this is a bad place to go. So the advantage of the electronics is I want to correct her. In other words, back it up where the refusal was, not when she's finally back at me. That's where a lot of people make mistakes. They discipline their dogs or try and correct what they were trying to teach them when they finally get back. You have to do it where they're at because of that little window of time you have available to you. Okay. So what you saw this time is I pushed the tone, but she was like, yeah, I want to be out there. So I'm going to push the tone again when she's not looking. I always make sure she's not facing me when I teach this, because I want her to change direction. So I'm going to push the tone right there. No response again to e-collar. Calm, calm, good girl. Good girl. But this time I'm not going to give her a treat, just to mix it up. Okay. So with her, I'm kind of glad she's doing this so you get the idea of, well, what do I do if she doesn't listen to the tone to come back on? And that's why I tell people at first, really get good with your voice command. In other words, the come command. Because that's still the foundation of heading back. To transition to the tone sound, I have to have something she understands to begin with, which would be the come command. And if I have to back up the come command, then it's through the electronics. So this time, I'm going to go back to my voice, see what I get. You can see she's kind of hanging around now. Not because she can't leave me, but she's like, okay, I'll just stick around a little more. Because everything you do with your puppy is a routine and a habit. You create routines and habits. She's kind of chewing on the grass there. Okay. So this time, like I said, I'm going to use my voice when I get the chance. Even if she's not really too far away. So I'll do it here. Calm. Good girl. This time I'll reinforce or respond with a treat. You know, give her that reward. Good girl. Because like I said, routine habit. The routine is when I take you for the walk or the run, Isla, the habits are I want you to respond to the commands or the whatever application I'm giving her to keep her around. Because most people tend not to do these three things in a proper order. It should be exercise with control, then praise. Most people get home, they giving their dog a lot of affection and praise. The dog gets all excited. They get frustrated. The dog's jumping on them and just crazy. So they go, forget it. You're too crazy. I'm not doing anything with you. So it should be exercise them with control, then give them the affection. Instead of affection, then trying to get them under control and correct them. Okay. But hopefully this gives you kind of an idea, Jess, that, I want her to be free. And of course, I've started to implement this with other dogs. At first I don't do it, in a big open yard like this. I do it around my training room, outside my training room. And she's been starting that. So of course with the other dog, she definitely wants to be with the other dog, which is typical. They'll pick a dog over a person every time. But if it would just be me now exercising her, I'm typically not saying anything at all to her unless I need her back. So I'm going to try and get one more tone in here and just see what I get. So I'm going to push the tone right there. Calm, calm. I backed up calm. She stopped and thought about it, but then head back. So she's one of those types of dogs. At first, you're probably going to have to really get good with your voice. Calm, because you can see when I said that, she was right here. Good. Sit. So that's Isla, owned by Jessica and Dan Rasmussen.